Approximately 100 infant deaths have been linked to a single baby product that sold nearly 5 million units, and it was on shelves for a decade before regulators pulled it. This is the list of 7 baby products a pediatrician who works the emergency room would never bring home, new or used, and everyone is backed by a public safety record. The product tied to those 100 deaths? It's number 1. We start at number 7. The U.S. baby gear market moves billions of dollars a year, and most of what's in that aisle is genuinely fine. The problem is a small category of products that keep showing up in emergency rooms and in federal death reports, sometimes for years before anything is recalled. And here's the part most parents don't know. Many recalled items stay dangerous long after the recall because they get resold on Facebook Marketplace and in thrift stores. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has repeatedly warned online marketplaces about exactly this. Everything in this video comes from official CPSC, FDA, NHTSA, American Academy of Pediatrics, and Consumer Reports records. Sources are linked in the description. This is consumer information, not medical advice. For your own products, check CPSC, GovBow recalls, and talk to your pediatrician about your specific situation. Number 7. The wheeled baby walker. It looks like harmless fun, and that's exactly why it's still sold. But according to a 2018 study published in the American Academy of Pediatrics journal Pediatrics, an estimated 230 children under 15 months were treated in U.S. emergency rooms for walker-related injuries between 1990 and 2014. The study found that about 74% of those injuries came from falling downstairs while in the walker, and roughly 90% were head or neck injuries. A pediatric emergency medicine doctor told Consumer Reports the thing parents underestimate is speed. A baby in a walker can cover several feet in a single second, faster than any adult can react, even standing right there. That's why the AAP has called for a full ban on their manufacture and sale in the United States, and why walkers are already banned in Canada. Consumer Reports has called for a federal ban, too. New or used, this is one an ER pediatrician skips. And the used part matters, because older walkers predate even the 2010 safety standard. Which raises the obvious question. If a used one can be worse, what happens when the used item is the one thing standing between your child and a car crash? Number 6 is the only item on this list that's about the word used itself. A second-hand car seat with an unknown history. A new car seat from a store is one of the best purchases you can make. A used one from a stranger is a different object entirely. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, a car seat should never be used again after a moderate or severe crash, because the forces can compromise the shell and internal structure in ways you cannot see from the outside. It can look flawless and still be finished. NHTSA's guidance is blunt. If you don't know the seat's history, don't use it. On top of crash history, seats have expiration dates as the plastics age, and they can be under an open recall the seller never knew about. Consumer Reports and the AAP both advise against buying used car seats for exactly these reasons. The safe version of used is narrow. A seat from someone you trust, never crashed, not expired, not recalled, with its label and manual. Everything outside that, an ER pediatrician passes on. Speaking of things that look completely safe and aren't, the next one was marketed as a safety device. Quick thing before number 5. Notice the pattern. Several of these products were sold as safety items to prevent SIDS, to protect from crib slats. The marketing said safer. The federal data said the opposite. Keep that in mind, because the closer we get to number 1, the bigger that gap gets. Number 5, the infant sleep positioner. Those flat mats with side bolsters or wedge shapes, marketed to keep a baby in place and supposedly reduce the risk of SIDS. In September 2010, the CPSC and the FDA issued a joint warning telling parents to stop using them. According to that warning, the agencies had received reports of 12 infants, most between 1 and 4 months old, who died after suffocating in a sleep positioner, or after becoming trapped between the positioner and the side of a crib or bassinet. Most had rolled from their side onto their stomach. And here's the key point from the FDA itself. The agency said it had never cleared any of these devices to prevent SIDS, and there was no sound evidence they prevented it at all. A product sold as protection, carrying a documented suffocation risk and no proven benefit. 15 years later, they still surface online and secondhand, which is precisely why it's on an ER pediatrician's never list. Number 4, padded crib bumpers. For decades, these were sold as decoration and as a way to stop babies bumping the crib slats. The evidence went the other way. According to the CPSC, padded crib bumpers were linked to 113 infant deaths between 1990 and 2019. The American Academy of Pediatrics advised against them back in 2011, and the risk is straightforward. An infant's face can press into the padding, or they can become wedged between the bumper and the mattress. This one went all the way to federal law. The Safe Sleep for Babies Act, signed in May 2022, made it illegal to manufacture or sell padded crib bumpers in the United States after November 2022. But a law passed in 2022 does nothing about the millions already sold. The ones still in nurseries, still in boxes in garages, still getting handed down. New or used, the AAP's position is a bare crib. Nothing in it. And that same law targeted our next item, a whole category of crib that was banned over a decade ago and still turns up in thrift stores today. Number 3, the drop-side crib, the kind with a side rail that slides up and down so you can lift the baby out more easily. Convenient, and, for years, standard. Then the hardware started failing. According to the CPSC, at least 32 infants and toddlers died in drop-side cribs between 2000 and 2009, with another 14 fatalities suspected. When the sliding side detached and created a gap, a child could become trapped in and suffocate. More than 9 million drop-side cribs were recalled in the years leading up to the ban. In December 2010, the CPSC voted unanimously to outlaw them, and as of June 2011, it became illegal to manufacture, sell, or resell a drop-side crib in the United States, including in hotels and daycares. That resell word is the whole point. A crib banned in 2011 is now exactly the kind of great deal, barely used item that shows up at a yard sale for $20. It is one of the clearest never-buy-used products in existence. And that brings us to the last 2, the ones with the highest death tolls on this list, and the ones still being sold secondhand right now. If you're keeping count, everything so far has been recalled, banned, or formally warned against by a federal agency. The final 2 are the reason this video exists, nearly 5 million units between them, and a body count that pushed Congress to get involved. Number 1 is probably in more American homes than any other product on this list. Number 2, the padded infant lounger. The pillow-style cushion babies get placed in to rest. The most documented example is the Boppy newborn lounger. In September 2021, the CPSC and the Boppy Company recalled about 3 million of them. According to the recall, 8 infants had died between December 2015 and June 2020. The babies suffocated after being placed on or rolling into a position on the lounger that obstructed their breathing, or after rolling off onto an adult pillow nearby. By 2023, the CPSC said the total linked deaths had risen to at least 10. The company's point was that loungers are meant only for babies who are awake and supervised, never for sleep. But that's exactly the trap an emergency pediatrician sees. A baby in something that soft drifts off in minutes, and a product built for one use becomes something else. These were recalled years ago, and the CPSC has sent letters to Meta because recalled boppy loungers kept appearing for sale on Facebook Marketplace. New or used, it's a no, which leaves number 1, the single most linked to death product in modern baby gear history. Number 1, the inclined infant sleeper, the one everybody owned, the Fisher-Price Rock and Play. On April 12, 2019, Fisher-Price recalled all 47 million of them. At that point, according to the CPSC, more than 30 infant deaths had been reported. Babies who rolled from their back onto their stomach or side while unrestrained on the incline. But the recall didn't end it. By January 2023, when the CPSC and Fisher-Price re-announced the recall, the agency said approximately 100 deaths had been linked to the Rock and Play. And then, the investigation. A 2021 report from the U.S. House Committee on Oversight found that Fisher-Price had downplayed safety concerns before ever putting the product on the market, and that the company knew of 14 infant deaths tied to the sleeper a full year before it issued the recall. A related product, the Kids 2 Rocking Sleeper, was recalled the same month and has been linked to about 15 deaths of its own. Inclined sleepers are now banned under the Safe Sleep for Babies Act. Testing found no incline safe for infant sleep. And yet, because 7 million were sold, they are still in closets, still in hand-me-down piles, still listed online. This is the product an ER pediatrician would never allow in the house. New, used, gifted, or free. So what's left? The reassuring part is that the safe answer is boring and cheap. The AAP's guidance across all of these is the same sentence. Babies sleep safest alone, on their back, on a firm, flat surface, with nothing else in the space. No padding, no pillows, no wedges, no bumpers. A crib or bassinet that meets current federal standards. A new car seat, or a used one whose full history you can personally vouch for. That's it. Most of this list isn't about spending more money, it's about buying less stuff, and buying it new, when safety is the whole point. 3 things to carry out of this video. 1. Several of these were marketed as safety products, and the federal data said the opposite. So, reduces SIDS on a box is a claim, not a clearance. 2. A recall or a ban doesn't remove a product from homes or from marketplace. It just removes it from stores. 3. With baby gear, gently used is not a bargain when the item is on this list. Right now, go to CPSC, Gov, Recalls, and search anything you already own. It takes 2 minutes. Then tell me in the comments which of these 7 surprised you the most. I read them. And subscribe. We track every new recall in this category, so you don't have to. Next time, we're going through the 7 baby products that are worth every dollar, according to the same agencies, because the goal was never fear. It's that the most dangerous thing in a nursery is usually the thing nobody thought to question.